This is my review of Are You Lost Episode 2, and now that I've seen 2 episodes, I think I've got a fairly good judgment on the cast. We got the athlete who seems incapable of thinking through her actions, the spoiled rich girl who will literally die if she doesn't get enough praise, the nerd who is okay, and the survival expert. And I think it's fair to say, now that I've got a good grip on these four, they're gonna die. Jesus Christ, they're gonna die! I mean, they suck so bad. I mean, survival expert, yeah, she's good, she's great, she's encouraging, she's happy when she's helping other people, she's even willing to go their way when it's going to lead to their deaths. But the other three, they're just hopeless. They are completely and utterly hopeless. I mean, these three obviously had the misfortune of ending up on a desert island, but they end up on a desert island with a survival expert. And yet Rich Girl's like, I don't trust that girl. Yeah, you don't need to trust her. Do you think people trust Superman? No, they fear him. They know, if I turn against this dude, he's gonna kill me. That's who you're with. You're literally on this island with essentially a god. Don't piss off God. And later on, she tells them, so if we don't get a shelter, we'll all be dead in 3 hours. And they're like, but we're hungry. We want food. Food, food, food. And they complained about the food she got, which... yeah, okay, that actually makes a little bit of sense considering all the food was awful and I'd have a hard time eating any of it, but... Still, she worked hard, she got you food, even though she wanted to make shelter first. They also just seem to absolutely refuse to do what she tells them. I mean, she literally said, go get bottles on the beach, that way we can collect water when we find it. And they're like, nah, I'm gonna look for a pillow on this island. And then she brings out coconut. And then she's like, there must be so much juice in this thing. If we eat it, we can live forever. We'll be fine. And she's like, praise me, praise me, praise me, praise me, praise me, praise me. And of course, it's rotten. And even I can tell that's bad survival tactics. I mean, I've seen Survivor enough to know that opening up a coconut is not easy. You need the proper tools, equipment, or skill to do it. And they had none of that. They literally wasted what little strength and energy they had left opening up this coconut, which turned out to be rotten. I mean, if they had just waited for Miss Survival Expert to show up, she could have probably opened it up in all 5 seconds. And now I'm just going to complain about the athlete. I mean, she's a freaking athlete, and she basically passes out from exhaustion. Doesn't she run track? Isn't it like endurance something? I feel like she should be better at not passing out at this point. Alright, next up, gross out factor. So the first episode really went over the top with the whole crushing a fish into a yummy pulp thing. I don't think we actually hit that level here. We came close, we didn't hit that level. I mean, yeah, she had to suck out the moisture from the wet dirt from her friend's sock. That was pretty gross, but bearable. I mean, I'm laughing at this. I'm like, that's pretty nasty, but not too bad. And then Rich Girl's like, if I manage to pee, I want you to drink it so that one of us can survive. Again, I have issues with drinking pee, not morally, ethically, or any of that. Just like, I've always been told, at least in survival classes, you can't do that because there's too much salt in it, and it'll just make you sick. And there's maybe like absolute emergency scenarios, it'll just rehydrate you enough so you can go live long enough to go find good water to drink to flush it out of you. Not sure. Oh, and then of course it ends with all the girls sleeping, and the survival expert's like, no, Papa, I can't eat any more balls. Which, obviously, moose or elk or whatever she was currently hunting at the time, but her friends look at her like, what kind of relationship did she have with her dad? Which I would actually like to know more about that, not in a pedophilia kind of way, but just, what the freak is her father's life that he's, taking his, at the time, like 6-year-old daughter in the outback, middle of wilderness to go hunting and learn extreme survival skills. I really want to know just more about him. And what the freak is her mother's situation like? That's going to be interesting. But overall, I like her as a character, even when the other three are just... so annoying, so terrible listening, so just absolutely horrible in every way whatsoever. She's still smiling. She's still like, oh, I'm glad I could help. Oh, I'm glad you like it. Oh, I'm glad it was tasty. So yeah, their first meal on the island was made up of a sea urchin, which I've never had, but They seem to think it was just as good as you got from the store, so that's good. Seaweed, which a little tougher than normal, but they thought it was pretty edible. At the end, they were all still eating that. Even the girl who actually got sea urchin. She got the treat, and then she still had to split the seaweed with everyone else. Jam, I think, that had gone rotten. I'm not actually sure why the survival expert brought that out and portrayed it as food. Because, I mean, the girl threw up after she ate it, which maybe the survival expert could have gotten it down, but I know that throwing up, takes up energy, moisture, food, all around is a very bad thing to do when you're trying to survive. Unless, you've eaten poison, but I don't think she's... Well, I guess the blueberries were poisoned. Still, though, all her stats definitely went down after that. And then the cicadas. I like the extra touch where they just had to say, oh, you have to cut off one of their wings so they don't fly away, which cruel, sad, blah, 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 whatever, but I like the realism of it. Honestly, this whole anime is kind of reminding me of a game I used to play a long time ago called Lost in Blue 3. For the DS, you basically had to find a way to survive an island, find running water, refill glass bottles that wash up on the beach, and use those to, bring the water back to your base camp so you could drink it there. You found a lot of edible seaweed on the beach, along with crabs and sea urchins, coconuts, various other things you could get from all around the island. Honestly, this feels a lot like it. I'm pretty sure I could even catch bugs, though if I remember correctly, I think they just poisoned me. So this is the whole anime is really giving me flashbacks to that. Anyway, let me know what you thought in the comments down below. What did you think of episode 2? Did it hold up compared to episode 1? I thought it was a lot less gross, more mainstream now, but still, actual survival expert, still funny, still interesting. So be sure to like, subscribe. Until next time,
Peace.